Alright, now we've got that one buttoned up, getting ready to move to the back. You're going to have these are your back uprights. This may be attached and it may not. We can't remember and we apologize for that, but it is your arm support. So if it's not attached, you should have 2 screws, and you're going to want to glue this piece to this piece and then run your 2 screws in. So that'll be able to make a little more sense here in a few minutes. But so you've got 2 of those, you got a left and a right. Now I'm going to work upside down from you. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and push my head out of the way. I've got my slats, and we're going to do it the same way. We want to put all our screws in, and I would go ahead and make sure that they were sticking out slightly, and I'm going to go ahead and do that right now as I do this one. Object of this is hopefully you're following along at home and doing it just as we are. That way if you run into some issues, maybe we can kind of work through them. These are going to be labeled C and D. Of course here is C and D over here. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with the bottom. And you notice the first slat is here, up just beyond the flat. You can see the flat, where the first one's going to go right here, and then we're going to move up here and put one in and get our spacing good. That's one thing we learned by doing this. Maybe we should do either end and then fill in. So we're going to lay out your screws that are going to hold your arm on. You can go ahead and put them in because they're going to be a little easier to put in now. So they're really going to be the only 2 screws other than this arm support screw that's on this side. So you've got 2 that'll more or less be parallel, and then you have the 2 in the edge. Alright, so we've got that. We're going to apply glue in our 2 locations. We've got our screws sticking out. We'll make sure we get it right in the hole. Makes it a whole lot easier to put together. There again, we're flush. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to set these up here out of my way so I can get my arms closer together. And again, we're going to come over to the other side. We're going to apply our glue in between the screw holes. And make sure we get that first one right in the right place. Now nothing says you've got to drive these all the way down. If you're doing it, flush, you can leave them up a little bit. You could leave them up to, 1/4 of an inch till you get them all together and then come back and tighten them. That is completely up to you. So we got the first ones in. Then we're going to come up here and we're going to look at our numbering system. So we want to be somewhere around C6. Here's C4. Here's C5, which is here. And C6 will be right below our head. So we're going to go ahead and put that one in. Here again, get our glue. We'll find D6, C6, put glue both sides. Make sure our screws are sticking through. And find the first hole. Find the second hole. Yep. A lot of times you may have to back them out just a little bit and then restart them so they go on down where they need to be. If you're doing it by hand, you won't necessarily have to do that. You'll be able to apply enough pressure. to pull them up tight. Alright. Now, we've got our rig set up. It's good and parallel with each other. We can just go back in and start applying them. We're going to apply our glue. You don't want to apply too much glue at one time because it does dry to a tack in about 15 minutes. So you don't really want to apply all your glue at one time. Plus, you have a tendency, if you're like me, to make a mess. So it's a better, a lot of times it's better just to do it one at a time. Alright, go ahead and screw these down. Make sure you try to leave them all the same, flush-wise. Looks a little nicer, a little cleaner look. Here again, glue, glue. We're on D3 and C3.
One screw that you're putting first and all the way seated.
Okay, well, there you go. See, that didn't go all the way in. We didn't back that one out to get it restarted. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Cameraman. Now we're going to do the next thing, next one. We're in C3. Now, we're going to back this one up. Restart it. Run your finger under there, make sure it's good, down tight. Now with trim head screws, they're not going to pull themselves down like a regular screw would. You're going to have to make sure the wood is flat to itself and then run your screws in, because basically these screws, because they have an auger tip on the end, means they'll just basically pull themselves straight on through the wood. Glue, glue. And these screws will just basically pull themselves straight on through the wood. So you want to make sure that you have your wood down flat, and then run your screws in. Your chair being cypress, it's not going to rot. It can be left out in weather. It'll turn a nice silvery gray. It'll probably turn a little black at first. Let's go ahead and put some glue here and here. Go ahead and put a little glue on the arm supports where this slat's going to come. Let's go ahead and cover that with glue in those two areas. It just adds a little security, especially if you got somebody grabbing your chair by the arms and dragging it all over the place. It's just going to add a little rigidity to it. Now back to the cypress. Your cypress, naturally rot resistant wood. You leave it outside long enough, it'll turn a nice silvery gray. It'll probably turn a little black at first as things grow on it, but as it sits out and gets a little sun and dries out and all that, it'll turn a nice gray. It does not have to be sealed, but it won't hurt it. Here we're using General Finishes milk paint, 3 coats of just regular flat milk paint on this fish chair, and probably every 3 years you come back, lightly sand it and touch it up, and you're good to go again. Let's go ahead and put the head on. Changed my mind in mid-process. There again, we want at least a couple of screws down. I don't believe it'll make it too heavy. There again, we're going to put glue. Make sure you can see. Put glue in between all those screw holes. And then we're going to make sure we get those in the proper place. back assembly. Ready to go. So, screws are in, everything looks up tight along the back, that's good. You notice we put the extra support here because this is a pretty good size piece of wood. So a little extra rigidity. You can, I wouldn't, but you can grab them by the fish head and drag them around if you want to. So we're going to set that aside for right now, and then we're going to go move on over to the leg assembly. And what we're going to do is kind of do it the same way. We're going to get a few pieces on, and then we're going to attach it.